fraction, 150 students will receive the January 2017 bobblehead dogs. The first 150 students.
From the CFE Arena in Orlando, Florida, it's women's basketball in the American Conference here on the American Digital Network as it's the Cincinnati Bearcats against the UCF Knights. Hello, everybody. I'm Eric Lopez alongside Despina Barton. And Despina, we got a great matchup of two programs up and really exciting year for them. UCF already 12 wins this year, and one of the big reasons why is their star player, Aliyah Gregory.
Yeah, for sure. Coach Abrahamson Henderson said that she has been the most impressive player that she has inherited. She's just fearless out there, leading the team in scoring the last 5 of 8 outings and coming off a season-high 25 points against Tulsa on Saturday. She's leading this team in scoring and minutes on the court.
This is a rematch from 20 nights ago, won by the Bearcats in Cincinnati, and the difference maker in that game was Anna Owens.
Yeah, Anna Owens is just extremely fast, and she sets the tempo for this Bearcat squad. She creates an instant mismatch right off the bat, and her two passing a milestone, hitting her 1,000th point against ECU on Saturday. Get this, she started every single game of her college career. She will set the tone and be the X factor tonight.
Let's go over the keys of the game to speed. And for Cincinnati, it's controlling UCF's top 2 scorers.
Yeah, and that's Aliyah Gregory and Zykira Lewis. Those two combined for 44% of the team's production. And the Cincinnati squad is going to have to rely on their bench tonight. They're going to need some help scoring from those guys, keep up the tempo and the good defense against this UCF team.
And for the Knights, it's all about defense.
Yeah, they have to hold Cincinnati under 60. When they do that, they're perfect on the season. When they let that slip out of reach, they are 0-7. The Knights also must own the boards and not give up any second chance points.
Should be a good one from here at the CFE Arena. The Bearcats and the Knights will have the starting lineups and the opening tip when we return here on the American Digital Network.
Access to traditional prosthetics for kids is challenging. At Limitless, my goal is really to give them a chance to chase their dreams and to instill confidence so that they can go after whatever they want.
De ver o sonho meu, do meu filho, sendo realizado. Isso não tem preço.
The labs at UCF were so instrumental. I couldn't be in a better place. This is where I call my home.
For every hero, there is an origin story. An experience that made them who they are. For a new generation of explorers, pioneers, and innovators, that experience is calling, offering a different kind of education, one guided by distinguished professors who understand experience is the best teacher. Greatness lies beyond the classroom. This is where you start. University of Cincinnati. Do more.
We are American. We are the spark that ignites, dazzling, brilliant, intense. We are plugged in with the volume turned up all the way. Because on this court, on any given night, the energy of 5 becomes the power of 1. That's power. We are power.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
Welcome back here to the CFE Arena. Set to go between the Bearcats and the Knights. Eric Lopez alongside Despina Barton. Despina, let's look at the starting lineups. Coach Henderson in her first year likes to shuffle the lineups, and she does it again tonight.
Yeah, you see Ashley Polachek stepping in, where in normal you'll see the freshman and Korneila Wright. They're putting her at top of the key and trying to offer some extra defensive pressure. You'll see Schuler, Massey, Gregory, and Omakori rounding out the bunch.
There's Coach Henderson, her first season coming out of Albany, trying to turn this program around. Has already got 12 wins this season, the most UCF has had in the last 3 seasons. Of course, for the Bearcats, a huge late lineup change for the Bearcats.
Yeah, we found out before tip that Shanice Johnson is out. She's not in the building and unavailable tonight, so Angel Reiser on the court for her, along with Anna Owens, Tarver, Quisenberry, and Warren.
We're set to go here underway. The Knights get the opening tip. They're in their whites as Gregory drives, pulls up, and scores. The leading scorer in conference play for UCF, Aliyah Gregory, gives the Knights an early 2-0 lead.
Gregory looking solid, already pulling up that 6-foot jumper on the baseline. Good confidence boost this early in the game for her.
So now Anna Owens, who was the star of the first meeting back on January 4th, scored 20 points and 6 assists. And she will now have to even maybe raise her game even more with the absence of Johnson in this game. Knights trapping, and they get the steal. And that's going to be one of the keys here. UCF likes to go ball pressure and force turnovers.
Active hands for the Knights off the early half-court set. They average almost 10 steals a game, so they're right on mark.
Gregory tishes it off. Here's a three-pointer, no good. But the loose ball, the pickup, and the putback is good. And UCF takes an early 4-0 lead as Tolu Omokore, the sophomore, puts it in for the Knights.
She was wide open. She knew that nobody was around her. Chased that ball down with her eyes and the easy putback.
And so the Knights with an early 4-0 lead here in the early going. And a traveling call on Owens.
And that was just purely off the pressure from Aliyah Gregory, being on close guard of Owens. Unfamiliar, picked up her dribble. Another big win for UCF. And I know Coach Abe likes to break this down into 4-minute segments. So far, UCF out in front these first 4.
Now Polachek out of Canada getting the start. Passing it off, and certainly UCF. Can they get contributions from others other than Gregory? They've been very heavily dependent on Gregory, who drives, loses the ball, and it'll go over to Cincinnati on the turnover.
Nice effort. You want to see, your guard continuing to attack the paint at, one point. You can't let down, especially in each one of these possessions, because Cincinnati can turn things around in a hurry.
Now Bianca Quisenberry with the ball, hands it off, gets it back. Quisenberry, one of their leaders on this team. Bearcats have not lost in the month of January, or as they like to say, the year 2017. They've won 5 in a row as a whistle and a foul against UCF. They're 5-1 in the conference, and they've turned things around.
Yeah, Coach Jamel Elliott says that the best player is our team. The way they've been playing team ball and found that third score this last month has really made this happen for them.
Owen swings it opposite court as Tarver passes it up to Warren. Quisenberry drives to the left side, puts it off the glass, and it goes in. Nice play there by Bianca Quisenberry, averaging 10.5 a game, puts the Bearcats on the board.
And that was good safe defense from the Knights. Jocelyn Massey getting in front, her hands up high, making it a difficult shot for them because these Knights remember how quickly they were in foul trouble this last meeting 20 days ago.
Now Gregory coming off a season-high 25 points on Saturday here in the loss to Tulsa. They go inside. And a nice shot and a score.
Omokore with back-to-back buckets in the paint.
UCF likes to go inside, especially early, and they did there. Now quickly the Bearcats come back.
Anna Owens that way going coast to coast. Saw the lane wide open. It was a fault on the Knights to give her that.
A 6-4 lead for UCF here in the first quarter. Glad you could join us wherever you are on the American Digital Network. Yes, now Cincinnati on the defensive side. Polachek gets a pick, pulls up, comes up short. Loose ball, and still on the ground.
Schuler picks it up.
Nice hustle by Schuler, and the Knights get the possession.
Cincinnati in that 2-3 zone, stretching the court, really making the Knights get the ball around the horn and create that open.
Gregory, certainly the folk defense will be focused on her. So they go inside again. The hook shot is too strong there by Massey.
And nice sell there by Omokore. Her instant, she didn't settle for dribbling out of that. She went back up with the shot, and she'll find herself on the free throw line.
And you talked about it in the pregame here as we look at the replay.
The Knights just owning the paint right now. That's something that they knew they had to do. Omokore will take her spot.
The sophomore, first free throw is up and good. And you talked about in the pregame, crashed the boards. UCF, a 9-rebound average margin on the positive side. That's been one of their keys. Dominate the boards, get extra possessions on offense. When you don't have the prolific scorers, extra possessions is your best friend as an offensive side of the ball. And both free throws are made, and UCF with an 8-4 lead here in the first quarter. Now a trap again. UCF likes to trap and cause havoc.
You see Korneila Wright back on the court. Their speedster freshman Owens doesn't care.
Nice dish and a nice play there off the basket as Reiser scores, but that was all set up by Owens.
Yeah, Owens continued to drive down, got the ball in great position. Reiser just reading the pass and got in that lane.
It is 8-6 in favor of UCF. And now the three is too long on that one by Zy Lewis, who checked in the last whistle. Best three-point shooter in UCF history, all-time leader in three-pointers. Now the Bearcats trying to swing it. Quisenberry being guarded by Wright. Now gets switched. Good switch now, UCF. Again, a lot of ball pressure. That's what Coach Henderson likes to see. Shot clock at 5. See if Cincinnati's aware. They pull up the jumper, and it's short. And the rebound by Gregory on the missed shot there by Quisenberry.
Great defensive possession there for the Knights. They stayed with it, followed the ball, played smart, and ended up chasing down the board.
Now Wright with the lob, and let's see, we got a whistle. It looks like offensive foul on UCF.
It's going to come down on Zykira Lewis. Picks up her first and the team's first.
And that'll take us to our first media timeout here with 4:57 to go in the first quarter. With our score, UCF 8 and Cincinnati 6. You're watching American Women's Conference basketball here on the American Digital Network.
Access to traditional prosthetics for kids is challenging. At Luminous, my goal is really to give them a chance to chase their dreams and to instill confidence so that they can go after whatever they want.
De ver o sonho meu, do meu filho, sendo realizado. Isso não tem preço.
The labs at UCF were so instrumental. I couldn't be in a better place. This is where I call my home.
For every hero, there is an origin story. An experience that made them who they are. For a new generation of explorers, pioneers, and innovators, that experience is calling, offering a different kind of education, one guided by distinguished professors who understand experience is the best teacher. Greatness lies beyond the classroom. This is where you start. University of Cincinnati. Do more.
We are American. We are the spark that ignites, dazzling, brilliant, intense. We are plugged in with the volume turned up all the way. Because on this court, on any given night, the energy of 5 becomes the power of 1. That's power. We are power.
Welcome back. 4:57 to go, first quarter. UCF with an early 8-6 lead over Cincinnati. The Bearcats, winners of 5 in a row, 5-1 in the American Conference. Of course, their head coach really done a great job in the program. Jamel Elliott, former UConn star player, a national champion at UConn, was a longtime assistant under Gino Auriemma, and has really done a great job turning this Bearcats program around and being one of the contenders this year in the American Conference.
Yeah, Coach Elliott said this is the best start that this Bearcats team has been off to since she's been leading the force here. She says a lot of the time, at least earlier in the season, they were depending on one person to score, and that was Anna Owens. And more recently, she challenged this unit before this conference play opened up, said we need more scorers. We need more people to care and want to win this for us. And that's when Shanice Johnson started stepping up, Bianca Quisenberry, and the rest, or at least the last 5, are history.
They opened conference play with a loss at SMU back on December 31st, but since then they beat UCF on January 4th at home, beat Houston on the 7th, won at Memphis, beat SMU in a tight one at home by 2, and then coming off winning by 10 over East Carolina on Saturday. Now, Bearcats with the ball. Again, the trap by UCF. You're going to see that a lot tonight. They go inside to Quisenberry, who draws the foul.
Quisenberry smart to continue her head up, down towards the lane. They had her defender on her back. All she had to do is throw the ball up and knew that whistle was going to be blown. Great court awareness by Quisenberry.
So the senior Quisenberry will go to the line, averaging 10 points on the season for the senior. And, of course, something to keep in mind as Quisenberry makes the first free throw. Cincinnati, among the best teams in free throw shooting in the conference, shooting 72% as a team. UCF near the bottom at 61% this game. Now, that could be a factor if this game comes down to the last few minutes of the game.
Yeah, that's for sure, Eric. That's somewhere where those are freebie points, and you just have to put them in. For UCF, they had a 5-point deficiency at the half between this team, and it really did come down to the wire before they split away by 6. So those free throws are everything, whether they're here in the first half or down the stretch.
8-all here in the first quarter. Right? Ooh, errant pass there. Lewis picks it up, getting pressured by Quisenberry. Now gets a pick from Massey. Lewis drives with the dish inside. The finish, the little deflection there. The putback by Endor. Now kicks it back out, and turnover on a 3-second violation in the paint. Good defense there, helped by Cincinnati. That's one of the keys. UCF a little bigger inside. Cincinnati has to make up their lack of size with quickness in their hands, and they did there in that possession. Now the Bearcats with the ball, and again this trap. Knights among the best in the country, getting steals, and it's causing havoc defensively. So now Cincinnati in the half court as Goings with the ball. Now they go in there. Pull up, lefty is in there, rolls in there. Nice play there by Brandy Tarver.
Yeah, the senior with great poise, her body control, took the nice shot, shoulder squared. Just what you want to see.
A 10-8 lead for Cincinnati here in the first quarter. Now they double team Gregory, and a reach-in foul. See who they call that one on. It's Quisenberry and Owens was double teaming Gregory, and they call it on Quisenberry, and that's her second team foul. And Coach Elliott's going to go to the bench, and Quisenberry, I think, is going to see the bench with 2 fouls. So Cincinnati here a little short-handed with Johnson out for tonight's game, and now Quisenberry with 2 fouls. And you talked about in the pregame, Cincinnati's bench really would have to be a big factor, and we're seeing why.
Yeah, 2 of the 3 leading scorers of the team now out of the equation, and now you tack on a big 3 by Zakira Lewis. You've got to really keep pace here if you're Cincinnati.
A foul here as Owens trying to push the tempo. Gregory with the foul.
Here's that last 3 in the corner for Zakira Lewis, the local out of Bartow, Florida. Has been able to produce a lot off the bench. That's why we didn't see her start today. That spark is what has been helping this team so far.
They like having her coming off the bench for that reason. Bring that spark scoring. And she gives the Knights 11-10 lead. Now the Bearcats. And right now I think this tempo favors UCF. You talked about UCF wants this game in the 50s. I think Cincinnati likes to push it up. They want to have this game in the 70s. And right now this tempo is in UCF's favor. There's 5 on the shot clock. Owens has got to do something with it. Oh, and an offensive foul. They're going to call it. Looks like the illegal pick on Tarver. He's trying to set a pick there for Owens.
And what you're
no,
seeing,
they're going to say Owens on the foul there. Wow.
Yeah, what you're seeing right here is that Cincinnati is stumped at this point. They've lost Shanice Johnson. Now everything's relying on Owens, and she's overdoing it.
So they said there that Owens with the push gets the offensive foul. Knights ball here, up 11-10, 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. Gregory to her left, dishes it off to Endor, was not ready for it. Picks it up. Now KK Wright, freshman, being guarded by Owens. Wright, and that's an offensive foul.
Back-to-back offensive fouls here.
The first on Wright. It'll be Bearcats ball with 2:46 to go here in the first quarter. 11-10 lead in favor of UCF. UCF shooting 44% from the field, 4 of 9. Cincinnati's 4 for 5. They just turnovers have been the early issue for Cincinnati as Owens swings it. Here's a 3 from the left side, no good. And a whistle, and it'll be down on the ground here. That's great. And let's see who they call it on.
Yeah, it looks like the foul's going to come down on Aliyah Gregory. Her second.
Wow, big call there. That's her second on Gregory. As Coach Abe, they like to refer to her here at UCF. Discussing that. And so now Cincinnati, as that was UCF's 15th foul, as the first free throw's up and good. Tie that up at 11. There's Maya Benham, the sophomore. Has one more. Second free throw is up and good. And the Bearcats regain the lead, 12-11. 2:34 to go first quarter, and now Cincinnati will come with their trap. Ooh, and an errant pass that's going to come right at us, Despina.
Yeah, right off the hands of Schuler there. Weren't prepared to tackle the full court pressure just yet.
In the first meeting back in Cincinnati on January 4th, Cincinnati was able to force UCF into 29 turnovers with plays like that. That was something that UCF emphasized in their shoot-around earlier today. Now they try to feed Cincinnati inside. That ball knocked out. Still Bearcats ball. 19 left on the shot clock. 2:18 to go here in the first quarter.
That was a nice read by Jocelyn Massey. If she could have pulled it in, it would have been Knight's ball going the other way, but still active on that back line.
Bearcats to inbound the ball. Get it in there. So now the Bearcats with Miller. Trying to feed the post. They toss it back out to Miller. Good man-to-man D there. They're swinging out. A three is good. 3-point shot by Goings. Akira Goings gives the Bearcats a 4-point lead. And now here's the trap. Zy Lewis to Wright. On the right side. Remember, Gregory with 2 fouls as they pull inside. Can't finish. Whistle. And a loose ball foul on the Knights. Let's look at that last ball movement by the Bearcats.
Goings wide open in that corner. Needed it when her team, gave it to the team, to her Bearcats when they needed it. Something they can build on here in the last minute 45 of the first quarter.
Now Warren to the free throw line for Cincinnati. If you're new to women's basketball, one of the rule changes is that first shot is missed. After the 5th team foul in each quarter, it's an automatic 2 shots. There is no 1-and-1 in women's basketball. That was implemented this year. Of course, going to the 4 quarters, they started that last season. Second one up is good by Warren, and now the Bearcats with their biggest lead of the game to this point, 16-11.
Schuler here with the ball.
And again, that press giving UCF some trouble, although a reach in there. Foul on the Bearcats.
Yeah, Goins jumped at it a little too much and made some body contact, and the Knights will pick it up here at midcourt.
Where is the offense going to come from, UCF, with Gregory on the bench, 2 fouls? You would think it's Zy Lewis.
Zy Lewis is out there. Nyla Shula is not afraid to shoot it, and you'd like to see the freshman in Korneila Wright find some confidence and just let it fly.
Schuler, too strong, but the offensive rebound there for the Knights. Massey passes it up to Wright, who will reset the offense. Gets a pick, swings it out. Schuler, she heard you, Despina. She's not shy, but misses there, and the ball goes over the top.
Yeah, she has a beautiful stroke. She played here locally at Edgewater High School, won a state championship, so local girl wanted to stay here with the Knights and allow her parents to be here every night.
One of many local kids on this UCF roster. Women's basketball growing in the area. As now you got Anna Owens with 10 on the shot clock. 50 seconds left here in the first quarter. Gets the ball back. Owens being guarded by Wright. Gets a pick. Pulls up three-pointer. Too strong. And the rebound to the Knights is McCory with the board. Now here comes Wright. Swings it out. Zy Lewis. Lewis. Too strong. But again, the offensive rebound by UCF. That's going to be one of the keys you talked about, this being crashing the boards, and UCF so far living up to that. Out-rebounding Cincinnati here early on. Oh, but there's an errant pass.
For all the work that Jocelyn Massey has done in the paint to keep giving that ball back to her team, to throw it away like that, it's got to hurt.
And so now the Bearcats will have the ball for the last possession of the quarter. The shot clock is off. So Cincinnati can hold here for the last shot of the quarter. See what they do with it here. Miller to Owens. Being guarded by Wright. Owens drives off her foot. See what the ref says. Was it off UCF? No, it's off Owens. UCF ball with 2.2 seconds to go.
Yeah, her head went down. The ball went right down with her to the knee and bounced out. No white contact.
Now Wright, with the clock running, will not be even able to get off the shot. And that ends the first quarter here from the CFE Arena with our score. The Cincinnati Bearcats with a 16-11 lead over the Knights. Knights got off to a quick start early, Zy Lewis with the three, but then the Bearcats ended with a strong run. You're watching American Conference basketball on the American Digital Network.
We are American. We are the spark that ignites, dazzling, brilliant, intense. We are plugged in with the volume turned up all the way. Because on this court, on any given night, the energy of 5 becomes the power of 1. That's power. We are power.
The American Athletic Conference Championship is right around the corner, taking place March 9th through the 12th at the Excel Center in Hartford, Connecticut, as all 11 American teams will compete for the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Tickets are priced as low as $199. Get yours today online by visiting www.excelcenter.com, in person at the Excel Center box office, or by telephone at 877-522-8499. We look forward to seeing you in March. '17 American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship tickets are now on sale for March 3rd through the 7th at Mohegan Sun Arena. Get your tickets today to watch all 11 teams in action, fighting for an automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. Tickets start as low as $99 and can be purchased online at mohegansun.com, on Ticketmaster, or by calling 1-800-743-3000. Let the games begin. We'll see you in March.
Welcome back to coverage of American Conference Women's Basketball here on the American Digital Network. Eric Lopez alongside Despina Barton here in Orlando, Florida at the CFE Arena. Bearcats with a 16-11 lead over UCF. And as you look at the women's basketball standings, of course, UConn, number 1 ranked team in the country. Their winning streak up at 93 gets a lot of the attention. But the Temple Owls is a team that's been a surprise. They've won 11 in a row, and they're right up there. And then Cincinnati really right there in the mix with USF. This is a league, Despina, that's maybe doesn't get the credit it deserves because UConn gets a lot of the attention, but this is a multiple bid league.
Oh, absolutely. The level that these teams are playing at, Temple, USF, Cincy here, the potential that UCF, this is a high caliber ball, and it's not just about UConn. All of these teams in the top 4 or 5 can make a run at this conference.
Of course, last night, the Women's Basketball Committee came out with their seedings, what would be the seedings going into the NCAA tournament if it started today. And of course, Connecticut, the number 1 overall seed, as you might expect. But Temple with a very high RPI. Cincinnati's trying to get themselves in the mix. And a lot of high level. Of course, South Florida has been ranked in the top 25. So this is a league that's a lot better than I think people maybe don't understand it if they just focus on UConn. We got some quality teams, and you got 2 up-and-coming programs here with Cincinnati and UCF as we're underway in the second quarter. Here's a deep 3 by Owens. Just a little bit out of her range on that one.
Yeah, she saw an open look, and I think she would have shot herself in the foot if she hadn't taken that shot.
Some interesting trends early in the first quarter, Despina. Cincinnati shooting 55% from the field. UCF only 30% from the field. They're out-rebounding Cincinnati. That was one of your keys. They're getting 5 offensive rebounds, but they're not really converting on them because they're turning the ball over. And there's another near example there as the ball gets loose and a jump ball. The possession arrow will stay with UCF. UCF out-rebounding Cincinnati 8-4 in that first quarter, had 5 offensive rebounds, but the problem is UCF's turned it over 6 times.
That, and they've been able to shut down Aliyah Gregory, that true scoring option and the go-to for this Knights squad the past few outings. So everything that Coach Elliott talked about, they've been doing except owning the boards, and so far they're up by 5. So
Zy Lewis on to 3, missed, but again another offensive rebound for UCF. As that is another rebound, 6 offensive rebounds for UCF. They're among the best in the American Conference in offensive rebounds. And a reach-in foul inside there called on Reiser. First team foul. 9:12 to go here in the second quarter. Cincinnati with a 16-11 lead.
Reiser will step out on that foul as the Knights get to set up the inbound.
Now Thigpen is in the game for the Knights. Kayla Thigpen, the sophomore. They go inside. but unable to finish there for the Knights. There's a McCory, but again they get the ball. So right now UCF getting all those 50-50 balls, and I see Coach Elliott not happy with right now her team, although there's a turnover. And the Bearcats get it back. Owens looking up court, looking to push the tempo. And again, an offensive foul. And certainly, one of the things that both teams will have to do is kind of adapt to the officiating, the way they're calling it here, Despina.
Yeah, that one being called on Maya Benham down in the paint. Any extra contact at the checking point, and all that is so visible here on this hard top. You have to be aware where the officials are, aware of your body. You're just coughing up turnovers until then.
Now the trap by the Bearcats and a deflection and another turnover. Bearcats get it. Trying to put numbers up. And a blocking foul is the call on Polachek.
Yeah, Polachek not quite in position. She's taking one more extra step. Squared her shoulders and put her arms on her shoulders there. Maybe would have drawn the offensive.
It's a non-shooting foul, so Cincinnati will inbound. With 8:34 to go in the second. And now they go on top to Owens. And another whistle. And another offensive foul.
Again, down in the paint. Coach Elliott said when I talked to her the other day that, we know how aggressive and physical this Knights team, so maybe at this point the Bearcats trying to overcompensate, create their own territory within that block, and unfortunately it's hurting them with these last two possessions.
So now Ashley Polachek, the sophomore out of Ottawa, Canada, gets the ball, swings it out to Thigpen. This is a young UCF team. A lot of these players have never really achieved this much success in their careers, as there's inside a foul as Jocelyn Massey put it up and was fouled, and she'll go to the line with 8:13 to go in the second quarter.
Let me tell you, Jocelyn Massey is playing out of her mind right now, just cleaning up on the paint, being so strong, trying to find that backboard and landing herself on the free throw line here.
First shot by Massey is good. Massey already with 4 offensive rebounds in this game. Dominant, crashing the boards like you talked about UCF had to do in the pregame. And the second one is up, too strong. Ball goes out of bounds. Ball go over to Cincinnati.
Yeah, bad touch there. Thigpen had her girl pinned, and unfortunately her fingernails were the last to touch the orange ball.
Owens brings it up. UCF backing off here. Trying to set the Bearcats a swing. And loose ball there as Tarver lost it. And the ball will go over to UCF.
Smart move there by Zykira Lewis to kind of watch that one go out of bounds. Her team picking it up.
It is a 16-12 lead for Cincinnati here in the second quarter. We're talking about two of the top scoring defenses in the conference as they go inside, and a foul. As the Knights clearly going inside. Fifi Endor that time. And they want to pound the ball inside and be physical against Cincinnati here. That's clear.
And it's a win-win, Eric. Whether you put the ball into the bucket or you're drawing the foul, you're putting Cincinnati in a compromising position, which is a win.
So now the junior, Fifi Endor, to the line, makes the first. And it's a 3-point game here in the second quarter, 16-13.
The Knights so far are 4 for 5 from the free throw line.
That's huge, coming in only shooting 61%. As Fifi's second one is good.
And the percentage rises.
And Cincinnati's already at 5 fouls, so any foul the rest of this quarter, Despina, UCF will get 2 free throws out of it. So that's the advantage, you going in there and drawing fouls. And it's a 2-point game here. Owens being guarded closely by Lewis. Keep in mind, Quisenberry's with 2 fouls on the bench. And a steal by Zy Lewis. She's one of the best in the country in steals. She goes all the way and scores to tie the game up at 16.
Lewis doing what Lewis does best. Her poise there, keeping the possession going coast to coast. This is a very senior-like move for her.
averaging over 3 steals a game this year. Zy Lewis among the nation's leaders. And has tied this game up at 16. Bearcats still looking for their first points of the quarter. And they still are, as the missed shot and the rebound by Thigpen. Knights here at a bit of a run. Thigpen gets a pick at the top of the key. Back to Lewis. Zy Lewis gets a pick. Goes to her right. Drives all the way and scores.
And if you could see it from our angle, Fifi Nador pinning her man behind her, and it was like the ocean had split there for Lewis just to take it in for an easy lay-in. Perfect play produced there by the Knights.
And another steal by Zy Lewis. Going all the way, and they're going to call a foul. Foul on Benham. Try to prevent another layup, and Zy Lewis taking this quarter over with a couple of steals.
The Zy Lewis show. She's driving the bus. Who else is jumping on?
So the senior from Bartow, Florida will go to the line. Knights here outscoring Cincinnati 7-0 here in the second quarter. And the first one is good. Zy averaging 15 points a game, picking up the slack with Gregory on the bench. We talked about that. UCF gets 44% of their scoring from Gregory and Lewis. They're the keys for this offense for the Knights.
And Lewis with just 1 bucket, and like you said, 2 fouls, has landed herself on the bench for right now. Everything's on Lewis's shoulders.
Right, Gregory with the 2 fouls picked him up in the first quarter, but Lewis has picked it up, and UCF now with a 4-point lead. Now Owens as the Bearcats here in a bit of a drought. Where is the scoring going to come from? Owens swings it out, and a foul. As Quisenberry back in the game with 2 fouls.
So that foul being called on Kayla Thigpen. I believe it was a reach-in.
I think Coach Elliott, seeing that her offense struggling with no Johnson tonight, Quisenberry, bring her out there with 2 fouls. You don't want, fall behind by a big margin. Quisenberry, one of your top players, coming in with playing with 2 fouls. She's trying to inbound the ball. And now she brings it out after getting the pass back. She drives all the way, uncontested scores.
Quisenberry, she was the inbound girl, got it back in the corner there and found her own and created her own lane for an easy 2.
A 2-point game, right to Zy Lewis. Now Zy being picked up by Owens. Swings it out. Thigpen. Jumper. Short. Rebound Cincinnati. Now the Bearcats bringing it up. Quisenberry. Nice pass. They swing it out. Thought about it. And palming the ball on Coleman. He had the 3, but she didn't pick up the ball cleanly and then kind of struggled with a dribble there, and that's a turnover on the Bearcats.
Yeah, I think Coleman knew the ball was coming her way, and sometimes, as athletes often do, you're thinking of your first step, your first approach, and instead of protecting the ball and then going. She had anticipated too far, and it was a turnover.
Schuler at the top. Goes trying to feed the post inside, but it was deflected and intercepted by the Bearcats. They're trying to push it up. Quisenberry pulls up and scores. So Bianca Quisenberry with 2 quick baskets, and we're tied at 20 here in the second quarter with 5 minutes to go before the half. So Coach Elliott calling Quisenberry's number, and as she has delivered since coming back with 2 baskets here. Now Zy Lewis. No good. Rebound Cincinnati. Now Owens looking to push the tempo. This is what they like to do. Quisenberry feeding the post. The shot is good.
And you see it now. The Bearcats are feeding off their defensive efforts, snagging that first ball off the board and creating. They're moving the ball, which is opening up a lot of space to see the floor and see their cutters, see what's open.
Reiser giving the Bearcats the lead. They go inside, and a nice, easy score for the Knights. As Fifi Ndor scored, her defender lost her there, and she was open. Good pass inside to tie it up at 22. Now Owens. The top of the key. It's good. Maya Benham gives the Bearcats the lead, and now both teams picking it up here. A 24-22 lead for Cincinnati, and a timeout by Coach Henderson and the Knights. After having a 4-point lead, she sees the Bearcats on a 8-2 run here. So with 3:53 to go here in the first half, the score, Cincinnati 24, UCF 22. You're watching women's basketball, the American Conference here on the American Digital Network.
Access to traditional prosthetics for kids is challenging. At Luminous, my goal is really to give them a chance to chase their dreams and to instill confidence so that they can go after whatever they want.
De ver o sonho meu, do meu filho, sendo realizado. Isso não tem preço.
The labs at UCF were so instrumental. I couldn't be in a better place. This is where I call my home.
For every hero, there is an origin story. An experience that made them who they are. For a new generation of explorers, pioneers, and innovators, that experience is calling, offering a different kind of education, one guided by distinguished professors who understand experience is the best teacher. Greatness lies beyond the classroom. This is where you start. University of Cincinnati. Do more.
The American Athletic Conference Championship is right around the corner, taking place March 9th through the 12th at the Excel Center in Hartford, Connecticut, as all 11 American teams will compete for the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Tickets are priced as low as $199. Get yours today online by visiting www.excelcenter.com, in person at the Excel Center box office, or by telephone at 877-522-8499. We look forward to seeing you in March.
Welcome back here to the CFE Arena, American women's basketball. Here on the American Digital Network, Eric Lopez alongside Despina Barton. And Despina, of course, you got a UConn connection in this game. Of course, UCF, you see right there, assistant coach Nikisha Sales, one of the great players of all time, for part of the national championship at UConn, All-American player. Of course, the head coach for Cincinnati was her teammate at UConn.
Yeah, her and Jamel Elliott being a junior, and Nikisha's first year with UConn. They won a national championship, and it was funny talking to Coach Elliott before the game. She said, you know what, we met, I was a couple years older, we kind of clicked right off the bat, and ever since we've been friends. She kind of chuckled a little bit after, saying, you know, I was kind of waiting for her to get in this coaching game. I'd been here already for 20 years. So when she decided to dabble a little bit, she did call Coach Elliott, and there were conversations to help her acclimate herself to kind of this type of atmosphere. The long hours that coaches put in, the recruiting process was definitely one of the voices that Nikisha reached out to.
Stars both played for Gino Auriemma. They asked Gino about Nikisha Sales. Was he shocked that she went into coaching? He's like, yes. He thought she would play for a long time. So was Coach Elliott. She thought that Nikisha Sales would just keep on playing until she was like 50 years old. So, but here she is, coaching, helping the Knights here in their first year. Now back to action. Zy Lewis scores to tie it up, and the senior really stepping up here for UCF here in the second quarter, tying it up at 24.
Yeah, when we were seeing that starting lineup and Zy wasn't in it, questions arose like, what's going on? And their SID, and of course, Coach Abe told us that, you know what, she offers such a spark coming off as that sixth man, that why start her? Let her settle in a little bit to the game. Nerves kind of get to you a little bit early, and she had been such a second-half player when she started those games. So for her to come out here and show some of this instant production, obviously Coach Abe is making the right move.
Cincinnati to inbound the ball, Quisenberry to Owens at the top. Owens gets a nice play there as Thigpen's covering her. Quisenberry. There, of course, now Owens. Owens pulls up. Oh, nice shot there by Anna Owens. Scored 20 points in the victory over UCF on January 4th and 6 assists. And right there, she gives the Bearcats a 2-point lead. Now the Knights with the ball. Thigpen swings it out to Wright.
Korneila Wright, obviously a true freshman out there. The next tool they want to add into her toolbox is pulling up that J. She's been spending some extra time in the gym putting up shots, but again, she's a true freshman here, trying to adapt to Coach Abe's way, and that shot will come.
There's the shot by Wright as the shot clock was running. She had to put it up. No good. Loose ball. And it's still loose, and Cincinnati picks up, and here they go. Owens trying to push up the tempo. Anna Owens driving to the basket, kicks it out. Quisenberry, 3 from the corner, short. Rebound, Thigpen. It's been a physical first half, as you might imagine, as you would expect from these two teams. Now Lewis drives, foul. And again, Bearcats in the penalty, so should be 2 shots for Lewis here. With 2:08 to go here in the second quarter, Cincinnati with a 26-24 lead over UCF. As Lewis to the line. The senior, the all-time leader in three-pointers made in UCF women's basketball history. This is on the first.
You see Polachek coming in for the freshman, Korneila Wright. Still no word and no sight of Aliyah Gregory with 2 fouls.
I would assume coach maybe just decides, you know what, we're in a tight game here, try to keep her, preserve her for the second half. You don't want that 3rd foul before the half, and I think she's pleased with the way they're playing right now. Only down 1 as Lewis made 1 out of 2. As Owens, as we're under 2 minutes here. Owens guarded by Lewis to Quisenberry. 10 on the shot clock. They swing it out. Jump shot, no good. Strong, and the rebound. Right there by the Knights. They have controlled the boards as Endor picked up the board there. Now Polachek. To Endor. Thigpen. 1.5 minutes to go. Here in the first half. Cincinnati up 1. Polachek. Again, I think the tempo right now in UCF's favor. Game in the 50s. Not up and down. Massey loses the ball. Picked up by Quisenberry, who gets the steal. 2-on-2 here. To Owens. No call. Loose ball. And UCF ball here with 1.9 minutes to go.
Just as you were saying, UCF controlling the tempo. They, of course, the Bearcats knocked it away and started running. That type of transition game you don't want to get in with against Cincinnati for the Knights because you won't win it. They're too powerful. This time able to slow them down. Obviously, Polachek able to get in position. No whistle. That was the position the Knights played very smart.
Now 1 minute to go here in the half. Thigpen to Lewis. Oh, and Dor was not ready for it, but she picks it up, drove it up, and is fouled. She'll go to the line with 54.2 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Cincinnati with a 1-point lead, 26-25.
Yep, certainly an opportunity to show what you can do and make these free throws count for Fifi Endor.
And so Endor will go to the line. UCF 8 for 10 in the first half here from the free throw line. Cincinnati 5 for 6. First one by Fifi, too strong.
Endor, a semi-local here. She came from Dakar, Senegal, but played a lot of her high school years at Montverde Academy out in Lake County. You hear the Ben Simmons and the men's program, right, and what they've been able to do with that.
Big-time program over there. One more to go here as Tarver comes in. You just saw for Cincinnati here with 54 seconds to go in the half. Now, if you're Cincinnati here, Despina, do you go for try to get a 2-for-1 here with the 30-second shot clock, or do you just try to get the best, highest possible shot regardless of when it comes in the shot clock?
You want to be smart here. You have plenty of time on the clock. Play this wise, get an open look, and don't force anything. We know the Knights' hands have been active so far. You don't want to throw it away.
Now Owens feeds it inside. Owens, 6 on the shot clock, 5 on the shot clock. Owens drives all the way, lefty, short, but put back in a foul. Foul is the call. Angel Reiser will go to the line. Will shoot 2 with 24.8 seconds to go here in the half in a tied game, 26-all. Angel, a freshman, short on that free throw. And now the Knights going to the bench. KK Wright checks back in for the Knights. That's the nickname they call her here. One more to go here for the freshman Angel. Gets it in there, and Cincinnati takes a 27-26 lead. UCF can hold for the last shot. Wright brings it up for the Knights. To Lewis, back to Wright. We'll see if they just hold it out here for the last shot. Thigpen to Lewis. Loose ball, has to give it back to Thigpen. 5 on the clock. Wright, got to do something. 3, 2, good defense. Wright pulls it up and scores at the buzzer to give UCF a 28-27 lead going into the locker room. So the Knights were down 5 at the end of the first quarter, but respond here in the second quarter, and then a really good one here. Good battle from both sides. Both teams dealing with foul trouble. Gregory with 2 fouls for UCF, sat out most of the first half, but Zy Lewis picked it up for the Knights. As Despina Barton will be joined shortly here by Coach Henderson. And let's toss it over. Let's toss it over to Despina with Coach Henderson. All right, thanks.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
Access to traditional prosthetics for kids is challenging. At Luminous, my goal is really to give them a chance to chase their dreams and to instill confidence so that they can go after whatever they want.
De ver o sonho meu, do meu filho, sendo realizado. Isso não tem preço.
The labs at UCF were so instrumental. I couldn't be in a better place. This is where I call my home.
For every hero, there is an origin story. An experience that made them who they are. For a new generation of explorers, pioneers, and innovators, that experience is calling, offering a different kind of education, one guided by distinguished professors who understand experience is the best teacher. Greatness lies beyond the classroom. This is where you start. University of Cincinnati. Do more.
Haley out here from the American Digital Network studio. Hope everyone is having a great start to their week. Thanks for tuning into The Rise. As we approach the halfway point of conference play on the hardwood, let's get you caught up on the tight race in the league standings. Entering last week at 3-2, Memphis picked up 2 crucial wins to vault into a tie for third. The Tigers outlasted Houston in overtime to start the week, then held off UCF down the stretch to move to 5-2 and 15-5.
Reiser giving the big.
Haley out here from the American Digital Network studio. Hope everyone is having a great start to their week. Thanks for tuning into The Rise. As we approach the halfway point of conference play on the hardwood, let's get you caught up on the tight race in the league standings. Entering last week at 3-2, Memphis picked up 2 crucial wins to vault into a tie for third. The Tigers outlasted Houston in overtime to start the week, then held off UCF down the stretch to move to 5-2 and 15-5 overall. Starring for the Tigers was the Player of the Week, KJ Lawson, who posted a career-high 28 points and 16 rebounds at Houston. Also with 2 home wins last week, SMU extended its winning streak to 17 games at Moody Coliseum. It was Shake Milton who led the way, scoring a career-high 27 points, as the Mustangs stayed within a half game of conference-leading Cincinnati. Speaking of the Bearcats, they moved up 1 spot to number 19 in both national polls after taking games against Temple and at Tulane to extend their winning streak to 10, matching the longest winning streak in the American this year. On Thursday, Cincinnati welcomes Xavier to Fifth Third Arena for the Skyline Chili Crosstown Shootout. Should the Bearcats grab the win, they will set a record for consecutive home wins under Mick Cronin with their 20th in a row. On Thursday night and throughout the week, coaching staffs throughout the American will be taking part in Coaches vs. Cancer Suits and Sneakers Week. The program is a nationwide collaboration between the American Cancer Society and the National Association of Basketball Coaches. The initiative leverages the personal experiences, community leadership, and professional excellence of coaches nationwide to increase cancer awareness and promote healthy living through year-round awareness efforts, fundraising activities, and advocacy programs. So be on the lookout for your favorite coaches sporting some different footwear this weekend as they raise awareness in the fight against cancer. And over to the women's side, the historic streak continues as UConn won its 93rd straight game. Reigning American Player of the Week, Katie Lou Samuelson, finished with a game-high 32 points in the win over the Green Wave, which is becoming a regular thing for Katie Lou. Samuelson averaged 33 points over 2 games for the Huskies last week and was named ESPNW's Player of the Week on Monday for her efforts. UConn isn't the only team garnering some national attention, as Temple, who is arguably one of the hottest teams in the country right now, grabbed its 11th win in a row this past week. Junior guard Denasia Fountain led the Owls with 21 points per game as Temple downed Houston on the road on Wednesday and Memphis last Saturday. The week ahead sees the Owls facing off with Penn in midweek action for the Philadelphia Big Five title and hosting number 23 USF on Sunday in a critical conference matchup for both teams on CBS Sports Network. The Owls are 3 spots out of the AP Top 25 and continue to receive votes in both major polls. A team that is garnering a whole lot of attention in the preseason national polls out on the diamond are the East Carolina Pirates. This week, the Purple and Gold were ranked the 6th best team in the country by Baseball America. College baseball opening weekend is less than a month away. And to get the season started, the Pirates will hit the road for a 3-game series at Ole Miss. The start of softball is also just a few weeks away, and this past week, the American announced the preseason coaches poll. Tulsa was selected as the favorite in 2017 after winning its first conference championship last season, claiming the title on its home field and appearing in its 8th NCAA regional. The Hurricane returned 12 starters from last year's squad.
I'm a homebody. I come from a big family, middle of 5. So keeping my relationship with them was important to me when making my decision for college. And Cincinnati fit, and it happened to be close to home, so that was a plus. Obviously you always want to improve on the court, but I think my biggest improvement has come in my leadership and my confidence in myself and being able to speak out to my teammates and lead them by example, and now vocally has been something big for me. I take pride in that, and hopefully my teammates see that and have confidence in me now.
Well, Bianca's our glue. She's our engine. She's the steady force on the floor that every coach wants to have out there. She sets an example and a bar for with her work ethic, whether it's in practice, whether it's in the weight room, whether it's in the classroom. So I think she's a great mentor and leader especially for the 7 guys that we have coming into our program as new members. So it's always good as a coach to have that person you trust and depend on and that you can talk to about anything.
Just in sports, as you have goals, you have to have that in the classroom. You know what I mean? Whether it's graduating early or having a certain GPA, you've got to have goals and expect to exceed those goals. And I think that's helped me, bring the sport aspect into the classroom and be successful in both. I don't think our goals have changed. We have goals of being over 500 and top 5 in our conference. And I think part of reaching that is getting those new people to adjust. They don't have a choice. You're here now. So you have to adjust to where we're going, and you got to catch up. And they've done a great job of that, working themselves in our system and learning our system, and it should be a good year.
We are American. We are the spark that ignites, dazzling, brilliant, intense. We are plugged in with the volume turned up all the way. Because on this court, on any given night, the energy of 5 becomes the power of 1. That's power. We are power.
The 2017 American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship tickets are now on sale from March 3rd through the 7th at Mohegan Sun Arena. Get your tickets today to watch all 11 teams in action, fighting for an automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. Tickets start as low as $99 and can be purchased online at mohegansun.com, on Ticketmaster, or by calling 1-800-743-3000. Let the games begin. We'll see you in March.
Welcome back here to the CFE Arena in Orlando, Florida. American Conference basketball at the half, with UCF leading Cincinnati 28-27 at the half. Eric Lopez here alongside Despina Barton. And Despina, it's been a very tight first half, back and forth. Good defense played on both sides. And for UCF, Zy Lewis has been a difference maker for the Knights.
Yeah, she's red hot. We talked about her not starting on this lineup today, but it's what she's been able to offer off the bench. She had a fantastic second quarter, leading the team right now with 12 points, some massive three-pointers. And not only that, she's aggressive with her hands. She's forcing turnovers. She's running the other court. She's completing her layups. She's kind of doing it all, and this is the spirit of this Knights squad so far.
She leads them with 12 points in the first half, and that's big with Gregory in foul trouble with 2. For Cincinnati, they're shorthanded. Their star player, Shanice Johnson, is certainly a player that out with personal reasons, and then Quisenberry picked up 2 early fouls, so Cincinnati's had to kind of really weather some storms here, some adversity, but they're hanging in there, and Quisenberry had a nice second quarter there at the end.
Yeah, when Quisenberry was out after she got those quick 2 fouls, the team went stale. They hardly scored. I think they went scoreless for about 4 or 5 minutes. Then that's when Coach Elliott decided to pull the trigger, put Quisenberry back out on the floor. That's where she became very effective, keeping this team together and in pace with the Knights here, now only trailing by 1. She did her work.
Look at the first half stats there. UCF shooting the ball well from the field, 50%. Cincinnati at 39%. UCF out-rebounding Cincinnati 15-9. That was one of your keys there. But both teams kind of want to cut the turnovers down a little bit.
Yeah, Coach Abe talked about how impressive her rebounders have been and how they're aggressive in creating space in the paint, and that's been key. But, yeah, you see the turnovers. They're mirrored at this point, 10-10. Both of these teams that says that they're playing aggressively. They're working at getting the ball. That is their top priorities, to take control of that ball and convert.
So you look at some of the highlights from the first half, back and forth game, and UCF dominating the boards early here.
Yeah, for sure. You see those easy buckets. Then Zakira Lewis with the 3 on the wing. A beauty. The turnaround, Jay. What can't she do when she's red hot?
And then the Bearcats, of course, turnover. Zy Lewis had a couple steals in that first half. Really sparked them in the second quarter.
Oh, for sure. Especially like we talked about with Aliyah Gregory being on the bench. They were looking for production from somebody, and of course the senior showed up. Now Cincinnati, well, it was Quisenberry that showed up for them.
8 points in the first half, and a team group. We talked, Coach Elliott told us it's all about a team, and that's what's happened here. You see Anna Owens there with a nice drive there.
Yeah, Owens, it was slow for her to get going, especially knowing who they had lost, not playing with Shanice Johnson, their leading scorer this entire game. It was a last-minute decision, at least that's what it seemed, so it took some time for Cincinnati to get adjusted to that, and when they did, Quisenberry here finding and creating her own lane.
So that will be an interesting second half. That's ahead of us here with our score, UCF 28, Cincinnati 27. You're watching women's basketball in the American Conference here on the American Digital Network.
For every hero, there is an origin story. An experience that made them who they are. For a new generation of explorers, pioneers, and innovators, that experience is calling. Offering a different kind of education, one guided by distinguished professors who understand experience is the best teacher. Greatness lies beyond the classroom. This is where you start. University of Cincinnati. Do more.
The American Athletic Conference Championship is right around the corner, taking place March 9th through the 12th at the Excel Center in Hartford, Connecticut, as all 11 American teams will compete for the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Tickets are priced as low as $199. Get yours today online by visiting www.excelcenter.com, in person at the Excel Center box office, or by telephone at 877-522-8499. We look forward to seeing you in March.
And welcome back. We're set to start the second half. Despina Barton over with Coach Elliott from Cincinnati.
Thanks, Eric. Coach, you said one of your goals was to keep Aliyah Gregory, number 22, in check. You did that here in the first half. What else are your biggest takeaways from those first 2 quarters?
Well, we can't foul. You know, the refs are really calling, fouls, I'm just going to say. But, we really got in foul trouble in the first half. So we can limit them from getting to the free throw line, and we can limit their second shots. I think we'll be okay.
Obviously a blow with not having Shanice out there, Shanice Johnson. How have you guys been able to respond, and where can we expect the scoring to pick up from your ladies that will be out there?
Well, we played them to a 1-point game at halftime, so, we putting out 5 guys on the floor, expecting them to make plays, and we expecting our bench to make plays as well, enough plays to win the basketball game on both ends of the floor.
All right, Coach, good luck to you here in the second half.
Thank you.
Thanks, Despina. Back with the start of the third quarter here from the CFE Arena with the Knights leading by 1 over Cincinnati. You're watching women's basketball here on the American Digital Network.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
'17 American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship tickets are now on sale for March 3rd through the 7th at Mohegan Sun Arena. Get your tickets today to watch all 11 teams in action, fighting for an automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. Tickets start as low as $99 and can be purchased online at mohegansun.com, on Ticketmaster, or by calling 1-800-743-3000. Let the games begin. We'll see you in March.
And welcome back here. Start of the third quarter here. UCF with a 1-point lead over Cincinnati, 28-27. Eric Lopez and Despina Barton. Despina, what kind of adjustments do you look to see from both sides here? You've talked to both coaches. What's your thoughts here as we expect to see here in the third quarter?
Yeah, especially for UCF and the Knights. I know Coach Abe is excited that she'll have her star guard returning in Aliyah Gregory. Fresh legs. You're going to see a renewed energy. At least that's what she's hoping for. And they got a lot of success from being active on defense. Of course, Zykira Lewis spearheaded all that, but now it's time for the rest of the team to pick up. And for Cincinnati, they have to keep doing what they're doing. Like Coach just told me, they're within 1 point and they're missing their leading scorer. She's very happy with the way they're playing, but you're going to have to protect the paint.
Underway here in the third quarter. Cincinnati with the ball. Same lineups as what started. Here's a 3 from Quisenberry, is short, and the rebound to Gregory. So Gregory back, only played 7 minutes in the first half with the 2 fouls. And I think Coach Henderson's got to be pleased that only getting 7 minutes, as there's an offensive foul. And they've been consistent here tonight, Despina, with that offensive foul called. And it's up to the players to adjust to the game, how the game's being called.
Yeah, and that was definitely addressed in Coach Elliott's halftime. They're figuring out how the calls are being made. Maybe not very happy with them, but that's, like you said, on the players to now adjust.
Now the Bearcats with the ball. 1-point game. Of course, Quisenberry had foul trouble in the first half with 2 fouls. They feed the post. They swing it quickly back out. Here's a shot, and it's in and out by Tarver that took the shot for the Bearcats, and the rebound to UCF.
And Aliyah Gregory not scoring quite yet, but she's definitely getting her boards. Back-to-back big rebounds for Aliyah Gregory.
UCF almost doubling up Cincinnati on the board, 17-9. They've held Cincinnati to just 2 offensive rebounds. UCF has 7. Here's Gregory. Nice looking shot from the free throw line. Extends the Knights' lead to 3.
Beautiful finish there on the curl for Gregory. She does look fresh, and if they're going down like that this early, keep feeding.
So now Cincinnati with the ball. Zone defense here by the Knights, as Owens tries to drive on it, and a foul called on UCF.
We saw Anna Owens struggle to get involved earlier in this game. Now this is her chance. This is where she's changing her game from the first half to the second half. Whether she has the ball and she's driving or she's dishing, she has to continue to penetrate the zone.
Bearcats the inbound. Swing it out at the three-point line. Now Quisenberry at the top of the key. Gets a pick. Swings it out. Tarver. Swings it to Quisenberry. Quisenberry to Owens. Owens on the right side. Gregory meeting her. Now Polachek. And a foul on UCF.
It's
third foul on Polachek.
It's a shame because Cincinnati is struggling to find a gap in this zone. And just before that shot clock expires, UCF is there with the self-inflicted wound.
KK Wright returns for UCF now as Polachek goes to the bench. And a shot too strong, but a putback is good. As the Bearcats, Angel Reiser scores as the Bearcats within one, 30-29 here in the third quarter. Wright to Kyra Lewis. And Lewis, and there's a foul called. A little physical in here tonight here at Despina. Both sides there inside that paint, that big battle.
A lot of whistles early here. 4 fouls already called here in the third quarter. We're going to see some free throw shooting very soon, Eric.
Gregory to inbound to Lewis. Indoor. Back to Gregory. Driving on Quisenberry, and the ball is knocked away by Quisenberry. And the foul is going to be called on Quisenberry. That's a big whistle. That's going to be her third. She can't believe it. One of the top players in this game was going to get her third foul. Coach Elliott asking, what did my player do? But nonetheless, a big call there.
Yeah, but it looks like she's staying on the court right now. But I will tell you what a hustle by Aliyah Gregory to chase down that ball, knock her elbow going down to the paint. It's that aspect about her game that Coach raved about, her being so fearless out there.
UCF to inbound the ball. Now Wright to Lewis. Pump fake, drive to the hole. Too strong, but the putback is strong, but a foul called. As Omakore will go to the line, and again, just being a UCF dominating the boards right now, getting second chances and earning trips to the free throw line.
That's what they're going to have to do, Eric, and they have to keep up with it. I bet right now that Omakore is kind of shooting herself in the foot because that was an easy bunny. You could have gotten that and one. Every point counts here. Look how close we are. This is going to come down to free throws.
First one is up and no good. UCF, by the way, out-rebounding Cincinnati 17-10. They've already got 10 offensive rebounds, does UCF. They're one of the best in the conference when it comes to offensive rebounds as Omakore splits the free throws as UCF now with a 31-29 lead. Here early in the third quarter. And now the trap. So Bearcats trying to break it. They go to the basket. Too strong. And a foul called as Warren, see if she earns a trip to the line there, although she got the putback. And that will be the fourth team foul on UCF here already. We only have played 2 minutes and 49 seconds, to your point, Despina, and that is the seventh foul called here in this quarter.
Yeah, and there were a lot of bodies down there on that block in the paint. And I'm not really sure, unless we were to do the replay, where the contact came from. And I almost feel like it might have been our own teammate. But regardless, the aggressiveness in the paint is everything right now. Cincinnati having to earn every point. And it comes down to fundamentals. Coaches talk about it all the time. You got to box out. You find a body, you box them out, you get the rebound. If you don't take care of the simple things, it's hard to produce on the other end.
So now UCF brings it up, still with a 1-point lead. 3 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Gregory at the top of the key. Looking for Lewis. Lewis drives, pulls up from the free throw line. No good. And the rebound to Anna Owens, who's looking to push it up for Cincinnati. They want to really push this tempo. Quisenberry drives all the way. And a late whistle called and a foul. And Quisenberry will go to the line. Will shoot two. 15 foul on the Knights. But that's what, boy, Owens is so fast. This being hard to keep in front.
and you know that Cincinnati wants to run this ball. But you got to give Quisenberry some credit here. Her poise, and she is that senior. She knew exactly where she was going with that ball. There was no hesitation. Look, she's driving. No matter how many white jerseys come at her, she's drawing that foul.
And so Anna Owens, or excuse me, it's Quisenberry.
Number 21, Jocelyn Nessie, checks into the
gets to go to the line. First one is good. So Quisenberry will have one more. The senior Quisenberry.
Playing with 3 fouls.
Yep.
Coach, a lot of confidence in her to keep her in the game.
It's what you depend on your seniors and your leaders on the team. As Cincinnati regains the lead, 32-31, with 6.5 to go here in the third quarter.
We talk about the youth on the other end with Korneila Wright running the point for UCF. A lot of learning curves.
Gregory all the way scores.
What the hang time. Gregory just hung in the air as she flicked that shot in.
Aliyah Gregory gives the Knights back the lead, 33-32, with 6:08 to go here in the third quarter. Quisenberry to Owens. Speed guards for the Bearcats. Owens back to Quisenberry. UCF with man-to-man defense. Quisenberry, no ball movement here right now. Nobody really moving. They try to go inside, and a jump ball, and the arrow possession will go over to UCF. Good team defense there by the Knights.
Yeah, Nyla Schuler. This is that last basket by Aliyah Gregory, the hang time. What a beauty. But like I was saying, Nyla Schuler, so smart in the last possession. Find the ball, both hands on it. This one awarded to her Knights.
Cincinnati with a bit of a trap here. Trying to, again, push the tempo up. I think, again, tempo right now in favor of UCF. They want this in the 50s. Cincinnati like to go up and down. Lewis drives hard, but the putback is good. Schuler, as UCF now leads 35-32. And there's a case where you attack the basket and it creates offensive rebounds and opportunities for your teammates.
Especially when teams drop down in zone. You have to or nothing happens.
Offensive foul. Illegal pick. Tarver gets the call on her. And ball will go over to UCF with 5:13 to go here in the third quarter. UCF up 3, 35-32.
Next foul for Cincinnati will send the Knights to the free throw line.
Now Wright, the freshman guard.
Yep.
And an offensive foul. You saw that right away, didn't you, Despina?
From our angle, Eric, and where we are at midcourt, yeah, as soon as that elbow and that arm comes out and makes contact, it's so obvious. You got to shake this one out, girls. Both sides. Take it out of your repertoire tonight. Maybe you can use it in a couple days. But the way the whistle's going, put it away.
And that's part of being a player. You have to adapt. Not every game's going to be officiated the same. And if after a while you know how the game's being called, you just have to adapt to it. And it's been consistent on both sides. So
yeah, that's no question.
And that's all you can ask. I think coaches always ask to be consistent. It's Quisenberry. Boy, she's been aggressive and scores there. And now it's a 35-34 game in favor of UCF.
Yeah, Quisenberry definitely has that sweet spot on the baseline. She likes that one dribble and draw. Gregory
to Massey. To Lewis, who was the star of the first half. To Gregory. To Strong. Loose ball back to Gregory. UCF has gotten most of the 50-50 balls here tonight. That's something that Coach Henderson really emphasized. Was disappointed with her performance from her team against Tulsa on Saturday here. There's Gregory. Cincinnati keep teen on her, and another offensive foul called. This one on Massey.
Oh, man, Eric. Take a second look at this foul. The pick right here, she moves, throws a little extra elbow, and we've got ladies on the floor.
And that takes us to the media timeout with 4:05 to go here in the third quarter. The score, UCF 35 and Cincinnati 34. You're watching American Conference Women's Basketball here on the American Digital Network.
Access to traditional prosthetics for kids is challenging. At Luminous, my goal is really to give them a chance to chase their dreams and to instill confidence so that they can go after whatever they want.
De ver o sonho meu, do meu filho, sendo realizado. Isso não tem preço.
The labs at UCF were so instrumental. I couldn't be in a better place. This is where I call my home.
For every hero, there is an origin story. An experience that made them who they are. For a new generation of explorers, pioneers, and innovators, that experience is calling, offering a different kind of education, one guided by distinguished professors who understand experience as the best teacher. Greatness lies beyond the classroom. This is where you start. University of Cincinnati. Do more.
The American Athletic Conference Championship is right around the corner, taking place March 9th through the 12th at the Excel Center in Hartford, Connecticut, as all 11 American teams will compete for the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Tickets are priced as low as $199. Get yours today online by visiting www.excelcenter.com, in person at the Excel Center box office, or by telephone at 877-522-8499. We look forward to seeing you in March.
.405 to go here in the third quarter at the CFE Arena here in Orlando, Florida, with UCF and Cincinnati. Knights with a 35-34 lead. Eric Lopez alongside Despina Barton. Cincinnati coming in at 14-5, 5-1 in the conference. UCF 12-7, 2-4 in the conference. But these are two teams off to great starts here in the 2016-2017 season, and really the future bright for both of these programs here and where they're headed, Despina.
Yeah, UCF, they definitely want to get this big-time conference win. Meanwhile, Cincinnati, they're ready to sweep UCF. I know Coach Elliott talked to us at shoot-around today. This is the first opportunity that her team has to sweep a conference opponent. They didn't get to do that last week, in the beginning of the year against SMU, but this is different. Her team is hungry, and even more so having to do it without their leader, Shanice Johnson.
And she knows it's a very important stretch for her team. They host Tulane on Saturday, and then February 1st, they're in Tampa against USF, and then UConn comes into town on February 7th. So urgency from Cincinnati's standpoint, and of course for Coach Henderson and UCF, urgency. They've won 12 games. No UCF team has won that many games in a season in over 3 seasons. As there's Owens with the shot. Anna Owens trying to warm up here, gives the Bearcats the lead. But she's not satisfied. We had a chance to talk to her, Despina. She wants to build this program. It's about these players handling success. It's not good enough to stop working when you won 2 in a row. It's keep working harder, and build on it. And these players are learning. Many of these players have never won this much at this level.
Yeah, so they kind of don't know what to do there. They're in that midway point. Do they celebrate because they have a win, or do they let down, or do they go back to work and work harder? And that's what Coach Abe is trying to teach them. No, when you win, you have to go back even harder. To keep winning, it takes so much more effort, so much more energy, so much more details. And this group doesn't know that yet. They haven't won as many games as they have this year. The identity hasn't been there.
Missed shot by Owens. Polachek had that shot for the Knights to give them a 1-point lead. We got 2:50 to go. And Despina, I think if we asked Coach Abe right now, I think she'd be thrilled right now with the way the tempo of this game's going. Here in the high 30s with about 2:40 to go.
Yeah, especially because when we talked about in the open, anytime they've let an opponent score more than 60, they've lost. So she's very well aware of when they do well and when Zygira Lewis does well, too.
Another three-pointer, and UCF now up 4, 40-36.
The Knights have to keep building on this. You can't let down. There cannot be any letdown in this type of contest.
Staying focused. That's what she says to her team. Very young team. Play possession by possession. Cincinnati trying to do the same. As Bearcats down 4 with 2 minutes to go. The drive come up short. Putback is good. Big offensive rebound there by Miller. And it's a 2-point game.
Talk about staying with it. Miller staying under control down there in the block. Big putback there for
Lewis.
Cincinnati.
Feeling it. Comes up short there on the 3. Out of bounds. Ball remains with UCF. As Wright will check in.
I like how Wright and Polachek are kind of split in time today. A couple games going against UConn and some other big opponents. It's been the freshman Korneila Wright playing the entire 40 minutes. And that's a lot to ask from a freshman. So for Polachek to come in, keep the energy on high, not draw any fouls, and put that jumper in has been good for lessening the pressure on Wright.
Gregory to Wright. We got a minute 24 to go here in the third. Wright.
And that's where you'd want to see her take that shot. It's going to come. It's going to come.
Comes with experience, right?
Yeah.
Well, Gregory aggressively attacking, and now a reach-in foul. Who's it going to be called on? Because if that's wow.
Boysenberry picks up her 4th.
That is a huge call.
Now that could have gone either way, because you saw Anna Owens right in that lane as well. Here's her second look. The body contact right on the hip. Anna with her hand check after.
So now Gregory at the line. Makes the first.
And here we go, Quisenberry checking out of the game.
So she goes to the bench with 4 fouls. So now Cincinnati, who, in case you're just joining us, Shanice Johnson, a double-double player for Cincinnati, their best player, was all honor roll. Not playing tonight, personal reasons, not with the team. As Gregory makes the second one. And now Quisenberry in foul trouble. So Anna Owens will have to pick it up for Cincinnati as UCF leads 42-38. A minute 9 to go in the third. A little press here by UCF.
Yeah, the Knights know now that Quisenberry's out. This is their time to pounce.
And maybe put some pressure at some of the other young defenders. There's Zy Lewis with another steal. Passes it to Gregory. Owens reached in there and for all the foul, she thought she had ball, but here's the foul. But again, Lewis being aggressive on the defensive end.
Her vision on the court and her ability to intercept that pass is impeccable. Feed her teammate running the lane. And once again, we see Gregory shooting too.
You can see why Zy Lewis is averaging over 3 steals a game. Well, among the nation's leaders.
She's definitely hit that mark tonight.
Yep. And UCF with a 5-point lead.
Gregory leading all night scorers, only playing 7 minutes in the first half.
Hits both. Got a great stroke there, too. Nice touch.
9 points.
10 points now, picking it up all here in the second half. Again, was dealing with foul trouble. Only had 2 in the first half. Has 8 in this third quarter. UCF with a 6-point lead. Owens driving all the way to the basket. Too strong. Rebound, Gregory. UCF looking to push here. Gregory. So Lewis thought about it. We'll pull it back. There's about a 8-second difference. Shot clock, play clock. Lewis drives all the way. Spin no good. Offensive rebound, UCF. And now UCF will hold for the last possession here of the third quarter.
And what more could you ask for? Gregory pinning her girl, grabbing the board, keeping this with the Knights and their possession here.
Gregory driving, pull it up, coming up short. Rebound Cincinnati. They got 5 seconds. Got to hurry. What can they do with it? Will they be able to get it off? The shot is up and no good there by Benham. And that ends the third quarter where UCF outscored Cincinnati 16-11. They have their largest lead of the game, 6, as they lead Cincinnati 44-38 after 3 quarters. You're watching American Conference Women's Basketball here on the American Digital Network.
We are American. We are the spark that ignites, dazzling, brilliant, intense. We are plugged in with the volume turned up all the way. Because on this court, on any given night, the energy of 5 becomes the power of 1. That's power. We are power.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
The 2017 American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship tickets are now on sale from March 3rd through the 7th at Mohegan Sun Arena. Get your tickets today to watch all 11 teams in action, fighting for an automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. Tickets start as low as $99 and can be purchased online at mohegansun.com, on Ticketmaster, or by calling 1-800-743-3000. Let the games begin. We'll see you in March.
Welcome back. We're getting set to start the fourth quarter here at the CFE Arena in Orlando, Florida, the campus of the University of Central Florida. And it's UCF with a 44-38 lead over Cincinnati as we're about to start the fourth quarter. Eric Lopez alongside Despina Barton. And Despina, this has been a back-and-forth physical basketball game. Teams aggressive inside the paint, and UCF there with a little bit of a spurt at the end of that third quarter, and it was their 1-2 punch of Gregory and Lewis getting it going for the Knights.
Yeah, and those two have been playing together all through years here at UCF. You can see the chemistry. They know where each other are going to be on the court. Cincinnati, unfortunately, their leading scorer of the game, Quisenberry, picks up her fourth foul, sits down, and that's when UCF was able to pounce here. And there's been 5 lead changes, and of course, we've talked about it. It's been the theme all game. The Knights are owning the boards, out-rebounding the Bearcats 25-14. That is everything and will be everything for these next 10 minutes.
You talked about in the pregame, Cincinnati had to contain Gregory and Lewis. They account for 44% of UCF scoring this season. So far tonight, they have combined for 25 out of the 44 points. It's amazing, and they both have had their moments. Lewis had the big second quarter. It was Gregory who had the big third quarter.
Well, that's because she only played 7 in the first half. I'm sure there would have been a little bit more production, but I think Coach played that call the right way. Keep her fresh. No need for her to pick up her third, and she's in good shape.
And for the Bearcats, Quisenberry in foul trouble with 4 fouls. No Shanice Johnson tonight, out with personal reasons. So the pressure is going to be on Anna Owens to really kind of lead this comeback for Cincinnati on the offensive end.
And Owens is so much a distributor. She's the one driving the ship. She's not the one that's going to be taking the shots, which we know that. Coaches, you can see, asking her to drive. You have to make something of this possession.
And it's tough against this defense for UCF, among the American Conference leaders in scoring defense. And they're showing it why tonight, holding Cincinnati to 43% from the field. And you mentioned dominating the boards, 25-15. UCF has 14 offensive rebounds. Gregory gets hammered and gets fouled.
Now, that was a late whistle. There was some hesitation here in this room, a little gasp inside CFE Arena, whether the whistle was going to be blown as the contact was made directly on her face. Here's a second look. The camera goes up, but the rest of us see it, and Gregory hits the floor.
Well, you talked about it earlier in the third quarter about Gregory and that hang time. She was hanging there.
And it's off that curl.
Stroke there, making the first for Gregory. Here it is again.
Here's our second angle, that hang time again, but it didn't matter. It was Nakira Goings coming down with her arm regardless.
Gregory. Second one is up and good. And it's Gregory now up to 12 points, 10 here in the second half.
The Knights 80% from the line.
And they have their largest lead of the game at 8. They try to trap in a foul as Owens getting trapped, and you could tell UCF's trying to really attack Owens and trying to really get her to get rid of the ball.
Yeah, you want her to get flustered, and as soon as you bring 2 men on her, your court awareness and your court vision dissipates. So once you do that, the percentage of her making a mistake, her throwing the ball away, only creeps up, and it's usually Zakira Lewis creeping up and following that ball movement, and she's running the other way. That would be the perfect play for the Knights.
Nice play there as Reiser scores. And it's 46-40 with 8:45 to go here in the fourth quarter. Wright gets a pick. Lewis looking to get a pick there. Swinging the ball to Wright. Drive from the free throw line, scores.
And that's really nice to see. We talked about her adding that jumper to her repertoire. She ended the first half with a nice jumper, a nice 6-footer just like that. And to keep the freshman involved, engaged, and make sure that the Bearcats keep someone on her. Otherwise, they have another man roaming, and things are eliminated on the offensive end for the Knights.
48-40, UCF with the lead. They drive to the basket, no good. Rebound to Lewis. Lewis pushing the ball up, looking for numbers. Finds Gregory inside. Gregory off the glass, no good, but again an offensive rebound. There's Tulupe Amakore. Will go to the line.
Fighting for her life down there in the paint. Every ball matters for Amakore. And a well-deserved trip to the free throw line for the sophomore.
Who has had a very good day today. Her and some of the UCF players got a chance to meet Dwayne Wade, who of the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls are in town to take on the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, get this, Eric. They were trying to get some extra shots up before shoot-around. So it was Aliyah Gregory, Tolu Amakore, and Korneila Wright that walked into the men's practice gym and found Dwayne Wade.
Not bad. It's a pretty good start to the day.
I know it would be a better finish to the day.
Second free throw up too strong, but she's fighting for that loose ball. A jump ball, and the possession arrow will stay with UCF. And Despina, one of the keys here, if UCF is able to hold on, they have gotten the loose balls, they've gotten the offensive rebound, second chance, and they've dominated the boards. Coach Elliott told us that was a big factor. They needed to compete on the boards, and right now UCF's winning that battle, and as a result, they're winning this game.
And you know what? Guess who's back on the court right now? Bianca Quisenberry. Because you know what? Coach Elliott realized how much can this team really take without her being on the court. The risk is much higher when she is on the bench. So, of course, Quisenberry, the senior, back on the court for Cincinnati.
Playing with 4 fouls. She leads them with 12 points tonight, and she comes in with 7:54 to go. Down 8 are the Bearcats. Gregory inbounding to Lewis, to Gregory. Gregory getting the pick. Swings it out to Ashley Polachek. Swings it out to Gregory. Drives to the basket. Pulls up. Nice shot by Gregory. Again.
And what Gregory did there, she knew Brady Tarver. She had a step on her, so she continued in motion directly to the basket.
Inside, no good. And a rebound to UCF. One and done right now for the Bearcats. As Gregory, very impressed by her tempo. She doesn't rush things. There's another example. Just easy going into the basket and scores. Timeout, Coach Elliott and the Bearcats. As Aliyah Gregory, who was on the honor roll, coming off a season-high 25 points on Saturday, has taken this game over in the second half. Unbelievable. And UCF now with her biggest lead of the game, as it's now 52-40 as Aliyah Gregory leading the charge here for the Knights. Knights up 12 with 7:11 to go. You're watching American Conference Women's Basketball here on the American Digital Network.
We are American. We are the spark. We are American. We are the spark that ignites, dazzling, brilliant, intense. We are plugged in with the volume turned up all the way. Because on this court, on any given night, the energy of 5 becomes the power of 1. That's power. We are power.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
2017 American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship tickets are now on sale for March 3rd through the 7th at Mohegan Sun Arena. Get your tickets today to watch all 11 teams in action, fighting for an automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. Tickets start as low as $99 and can be purchased online at mohegansun.com, on Ticketmaster, or by calling 1-800-743-3000. Let the games begin. We'll see you in March.
Welcome back here from Orlando, Florida at the CFE Arena, the home of the UCF Knights. And right now, here it's UCF leading Cincinnati 52-40 with 7:11 to go in the fourth quarter. And the big story in this second half has been Aliyah Gregory. Had 2 fouls in the first half, only played 7 minutes, only scored 2, but she has taken this game over in the second half.
She's shooting 62.5% from the field. Like you talked about, 2 in the first half, 14 here in the second half. Everything seems to be coming her way, and you talked about it most. She's so poised out there and putting together the plays and the possessions. She's really, her court awareness, her vision, she's getting everybody involved. And I think for the first time in this game, you're starting to see the Knights start to smile. They're having fun out there. They're making those stops on the defensive end. They're pulling down those big boards that are obviously fed by their big girls and Jocelyn Massey and Oma Corey, and that's just been fueling this squad.
If you're Coach Elliott in Cincinnati, how do you get back in this game?
Well, first off, you got to start getting something going on the offensive end. Of course, Quisenberry's in there, but not only that, Anna Owens, this is your time. You are a junior. A lot of the production has relied on your shoulders the past couple of years. It's not something new to you. So you either find a way to get activated or you're going to rely on Quisenberry. And unfortunately, when Cincinnati does not have at least 2 scores in double digits, they seem to falter.
Now Owens from 3 from the corner, too strong in the rebound to UCF. Owens, who was the star of the first meeting between these two teams back on January 4th. She scored 20 points and 6 assists in the victory for the Bearcats. Tonight, 6 points, 3 assists. It's been contained. Of course, Cincinnati shorthanded. No Shanice Johnson, their double-double, their star player, out with personal reasons. You mentioned Quisenberry's been in foul trouble, so Cincinnati, who has yet to lose in the 2017 calendar year, as Gregory comes up short, and it's picked up by Cincinnati with 6:11 to go. The Bearcats facing adversity today. You'll see if they got a run in them. Trailing by 12 with 6:05 to go. Owens trying to start up this offense. UCF's defense has been tremendous tonight in the half court. They have not given anything easy. Quisenberry pulls up a 3 from the corner. No good. Rebound UCF, and it's been one and done for Cincinnati. They have not been able to get any rebounds, second chances on offense.
Yeah, that's been crucial for Coach Abe and her Knights, because if you do that, you eliminate so many freebies.
Cincinnati trying to push it up, and they do. They get a basket as Coleman beat the defense there after nice feed by Owens, and it's a 10-point game, 52-42, 5:23 to go here in the fourth quarter. Lewis, of course, UCF, and Coach Henderson has talked about continue to play. Don't get satisfied with the previous result, positive results. Keep playing. As Polachek way off on that one. Rebound to Quisenberry. Quisenberry trying to bring it up. Goes all the way, coast to coast. No good. Rebound, Lewis.
Lewis there on the trail. The Knights playing smart defense not to draw any type of foul or contact. You saw with Aliyah Gregory running side by side of Quisenberry.
Now UCF with 4:40 to go, leading 52-42.
It's about tapping into your fundamentals. You have to be smart in these final 4 minutes.
Gregory, you got to believe the ball's going to be dominated with Gregory and Lewis. Gregory from the left side draws the foul. She's so smooth, just moving the ball, gliding around the court, and has been difficult to handle in this second half for the Bearcats, as that'll take us to the media timeout. And when we return, Aliyah Gregory will be back in the line. 4:27 to go here in regulation with our score. UCF 52 and Cincinnati 42. You're watching American Conference Women's Basketball here on the American Digital Network.
2017 American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship tickets are now on sale for March 3rd through the 7th at Mohegan Sun Arena. Get your tickets today to watch all 11 teams in action, fighting for an automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. Tickets start as low as $99 and can be purchased online at mohegansun.com, on Ticketmaster, or by calling 1-800-743-3000. Let the games begin. We'll see you in March.
Access to traditional prosthetics for kids is challenging. At Luminous, my goal is really to give them a chance to chase their dreams and to instill confidence so that they can go after whatever they want.
De ver o sonho meu, do meu filho, sendo realizado. Isso não tem preço.
The labs at UCF were so instrumental. I couldn't be in a better place. This is where I call my home.
For every hero, there is an origin story. An experience that made them who they are. For a new generation of explorers, pioneers, and innovators, that experience is calling, offering a different kind of education, one guided by distinguished professors who understand experience is the best teacher. Greatness lies beyond the classroom. This is where you start. University of Cincinnati. Do more.
The American Athletic Conference Championship is right around the corner, taking place March 9th through the 12th at the Excel Center in Hartford, Connecticut, as all 11 American teams will compete for the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Tickets are priced as low as $199. Get yours today online by visiting www.excelcenter.com, in person at the Excel Center box office, or by telephone at 877-522-8499. We look forward to seeing you in March.
Welcome back here from the CFE Arena, UCF up 10. You're looking at the schedule ahead for the American Digital Network, in-depth coverage of women's basketball in the American Conference. Tomorrow night, Houston at Memphis. That'll be about 8 o'clock. And then Saturday, you'll see these Bearcats hosting Tulane. That's a big game. Tulane's a really good team. And then Tuesday, January 31st, SMU hosting Memphis. And then circle Wednesday, February 1st, Cincinnati at USF. That is a marquee game. Two of the top teams in the conference. So part of a great schedule that you can follow women's basketball on the American Digital Network as Gregory makes her first. UCF up 11 now, 53-42.
And you want to keep this spread out at this point. It may seem like a lot for those viewers at home, but it's not. Cincinnati is known to score on the fly, and especially in transition. So expect them to pick up the pace here and go directly towards the basket.
Quisenberry in and out, and the rebound to UCF. And in the first meeting back on January 4th, Cincinnati led UCF by 16 points in the fourth quarter. UCF came all the way back and got it within 3. So point is, it's not over.
Yeah, and there's certainly a lot of grit with this Knights team. They just haven't been able to play a full 4 quarters and put it all together. They have an opportunity tonight.
They are doing that tonight as Endor scored and UCF lead up to 14. 56-42. Bearcats just right now struggling to find a rhythm offensively. This UCF defense has been in front of them. It's Anna Owens with the ball, swing it out to Quisenberry. 3 on the shot clock. Quisenberry pulls up, scores. And a quick timeout by Coach Elliott. And Cincinnati down 12. But, start using some of the timeouts here to try to get the strategy here defensively and reset.
Yeah, that was a big basket for Quisenberry. Right off a couple left-hand dribbles and a pull-up, created space. And more importantly, allowed her team to take this timeout and find a way to build on this. This is some motivation that Coach Elliott could use. Now the game within 12. That's what, 5 baskets?
6 baskets there, unless you throw a couple threes. Depends how you want to do it.
5-6 baskets.
Yep. But the biggest thing, I would expect Cincinnati to press here, right? Trap and try to force some turnovers. And one of the things UCF's done very well tonight so far to this point, Despina, in the first meeting, UCF had 29 turnovers. Cincinnati forced into 29 turnovers. Tonight, UCF's only turned it over 13 times tonight. That's been a big factor, too. UCF's been able to protect the basketball.
And that comes with time, too. They played, 20 days ago? You learn a lot in 20 days, especially in this conference play and the opponents you're seeing. UCF finding the importance in protecting the ball. In fact, that's everything.
Wright with the ball. To Lewis. Massey. Ooh. To Gregory on the left side. Gregory. It's been the star here the second half. 3:05 to go. Gregory. Driving. Shoots. And draws the foul.
So smart of Aliyah Gregory here. She sees a new opponent on the other side, and Sam Rogers, who checked in, the freshman for Cincinnati, sees like a little bit of a mismatch. She's got that one-step approach on her, and you'll see her here create space, throw a little elbow room, and she'll still continue to throw that ball up because you have to get to the free throw line.
She's never in a rush either. She doesn't get rattled.
No, Coach Abe was telling us a story about, obviously Coach Abrahamson Henderson is so family-oriented. Her girls on the bench right now with her, and they come to all the practices, and her eldest picked up number 22 as her jersey, and she wants to be a lot like Aliyah because of that fearlessness, that poise, that what she displays out here for the Knights.
14-point game as a three from the corner from Quisenberry, no good. Cincinnati has not been able to buy it from the three-point line. 1 for 8 now from the three-point line for Cincinnati. UCF, not much better, but they've been better enough. Leading here by 14 with 2:37 to go. Gregory. It's been the Aliyah Gregory show here in the second half, and she draws another foul. They just have no answers for her tonight.
And what's been helpful, too, for the Knights in these last few possessions is they have multiple ball handlers. As far as Cincinnati, they rely heavily on Anna Owens to bring the ball up. With the Knights' versatility at the point and the guard position, it allows them to stretch the court and depend on a few other people, making Cincinnati to guard up.
Aliyah Gregory, 20 points in this game. As her first is good. She's up to 21. 19 here in the second half. She only played 7 minutes in the first half, in case you're just joining us. 2 fouls quickly. Coach Henderson decides to keep her on the bench, avoid that third foul. Boy, it's paid off.
It has. And, of course, Gregory coming off a season-high 25 against Tulsa. That game not going in their favor. They're really wanting to right the ship here tonight.
She could break that here tonight, depending on how the next 2:30 go, as UCF up 60-44. Owens, and a bump foul on Lewis there, trying to go for that steal.
Yeah, I can't get mad at that one.
Being aggressive, trying to defensively. Only the first foul for Lewis.
This one of the cleaner quarters. You see both teams kind of cleaning up their act on the offensive foul side.
Yeah, only the second team foul on UCF, so Cincinnati's going to inbound the ball. Down 16 with 2:20 and in desperate need of baskets here quickly. Quisenberry trying to swing it out to the opposite court, was successful. Now Owens, 3 from deep, no good. Offensive rebound, loose ball on the floor, jump ball, and possession arrow remains with Cincinnati, but time now going against Cincinnati. 2:06 to go here in the fourth. UCF up 60-44.
Those 50-50 balls, yeah. Eric, for the Knights to be on top of that, Jocelyn Massey going all out, right now it changes the possession arrow. It keeps it with Cincinnati at this point, but say we have another possession like that, a jump in 2:06, which is very potential. It kind of helps the Knights later on.
Bearcats the inbound here. Having trouble inbounding, better hurry, then just got it out. Now 2:03 to go. Bearcats trying to solve this UCF defense. Owens gets a pick, trying to drive right with her. Bearcats just can't get past these UCF defenders right now. Clock's running. 1:48. Owens to Quisenberry. Quisenberry shoots short. Rebound UCF to Massey. That's been the story here tonight, and Wright gets fouled.
Yeah, you had to stop the clock here as Anna Owens held on to Korneila Wright's arm there.
Knights will go to the free throw line. 35-19, just being a UCF rebound. That was one of your keys. UCF crashed the boards, and they've done that.
Holy smokes, out rebounding them by 16. Incredible work from UCF.
Right. Freshman from UCF misses on the first. 13 offensive rebounds for UCF in this game. getting those extra looks.
And still shooting 75% from the line here. A couple things they weren't able to put together in the last meeting.
Second one is missed, and another offensive rebound to UCF and a foul.
Massey's tip, I'll tell you what, she's doing everything but filling that stat line. She is that deep physical presence down in the paint. She's chasing every ball. She's creating second chance, third chance, fourth chance opportunities for her team. If I could choose a player of the game, man, she is killing it out there.
One of the unsung heroes is UCF dominating the boards. And you talked about that key stat. Can UCF hold Cincinnati under 60 points? UCF 12-0 this year as the first free throw is made when the opponent scored less than 60 points. They're 0-7 when they give up more than 60. With 1:35 to go to Spina, they're holding Cincinnati to 44.
Yeah, really good shape right now here, Eric, with 1:35 to go. And again, Massey pulls down the board.
Another foul, and certainly the Knights, if they hold on here in the next minute 32.
You see a lot of smiles.
Yeah.
You see a lot of growth here from the Knights. This team we talked about wasn't sure how to win properly and the urgency to win throughout conference play. And there's so many games on their schedule that to put that together, especially with Coach Abe's first year with this team, she didn't recruit any of these young ladies on the court. So there was that grace period where both, the team and coach had to get to know each other, what worked, what didn't. And I think that the pieces are starting to come together right here in front of us.
They're a minute and a half away from their 13th win of the season, improved to 3-4 in the conference. Three-pointer no good. And Cincinnati just unable to find a rhythm offensively.
The muscle takeaway down there from Fifi Endor. This team wants it. They want it.
It was 44-38 UCF at the end of 3. And UCF has held Cincinnati to 6 points here in the fourth quarter. Defense for the Knights, and then scoring from Aliyah Gregory and Zy Lewis, the 1-2 punch for UCF. As we're now at a minute 10, the Bearcats in jeopardy of their 5-game win streak coming to an end. They would drop to 5-2. Cincinnati will play Tulane on Saturday. You can watch it here on the American Digital Network. UCF will go to Memphis over the weekend. Noon tip up there in Memphis. And another offensive rebound, and UCF will hold it out. Bearcats will drop to 14-6. Coach Elliott, I know they'll get them to regroup and get ready for the weekend, and I think Coach Abe and Henderson will tell her team this is a great win, but let's not, we got another game to go here. That's going to be part of the process, is handling this victory. Hard work paying off, but they got to continue that if they want to move up in the standings.
Yep, you can celebrate tonight, but you can't for much longer. But for Coach Elliott, she's had a lot of factors coming into play today. First off, you lose your leading scorer there, and Shanice Johnson unavailable to the game for the game tonight. She was at shoot-around this morning. Something must have happened in between. We hope she returns soon. Not only that, she's had 2 freshmen out for injury, a rotational difference every game. There's a lot of factors that are coming into play to hinder Jamel Elliott's squad right now.
First free throw is up. So good. UCF with a 19-point lead. Stay tuned for postgame. As the Knights with the victory. We'll be joined by Aliyah Gregory, star player of the game, had a dominant second half as UCF grows its lead to 20. And a near steal by Lewis as the clock winding down. Owens with 8 to go. And Cincinnati turns it over, and the ball goes over to UCF, who picked up this hard-earned win. Tenacious defense, and I think that last possession was kind of tells the story of the game. Cincinnati just couldn't find a rhythm offensively as the Knights pick up the victory over Cincinnati. Final score from the CFE Arena, UCF 64, Cincinnati 44. UCF improves to 13-7 on the season, 3-4 in the American Conference, while Cincinnati sees their 5-game winning streak come to an end. They drop to 14-6 overall and 5-2 in the conference. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Coach Henderson and Aliyah Gregory of the victorious UCF Knights here on the American Digital Network.
Access to traditional prosthetics for kids is challenging. At Luminous, my goal is really to give them a chance to chase their dreams and to instill confidence so that they can go after whatever they want.
De ver o sonho meu, do meu filho, sendo realizado. Isso não tem preço.
The labs at UCF were so instrumental. I couldn't be in a better place. This is where I call my home.
For every hero, there is an origin story. An experience that made them who they are. For a new generation of explorers, pioneers, and innovators, that experience is calling, offering a different kind of education, one guided by distinguished professors who understand experience is the best teacher. Greatness lies beyond the classroom. This is where you start. University of Cincinnati. Do more.
We are American. We are the spark that ignites, dazzling, brilliant, intense. We are plugged in with the volume turned up all the way. Because on this court, on any given night, the energy of 5 becomes the power of 1. That's power. We are power.
Welcome back here from the CFE Arena in Orlando, Florida. The UCF Knights victorious over the Cincinnati Bearcats. Dominant performance in the second half, 64-44 the final. They outscored the Bearcats 20-6 in the fourth quarter. Eric Lopez, Despina Barton, joined by the victorious coach, Coach Abe. Coach, congratulations on a great win.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. Our defense always wins us games, and so we got to do a great job. 6 points in the fourth quarter to the number 4 team. That's awesome. I'm just really proud of them. We had a lot of talking and a lot of thinking and a lot of team meetings and a lot of individual meetings in the last 3 days, and so clearly that works. So I might have to keep doing that, but I'm just so proud of them. They played really hard. I thought Jocelyn Massey, oh my gosh, her boards and her tips and her loose balls, and she was great. I tell them all the time, you don't have to score all the points. You don't have to score all the points. Your team wins, an individual doesn't win. And so, she to me really stood out today. Obviously, Aliyah, again, making 12 for 12 free throws and 22 points. And, Zai came today, which is much needed.
This team was aggressive, too, getting every loose ball, dominating the boards, had that intensity that wasn't there against Tulsa, but it was here tonight.
Yeah, I don't understand, right? So it's like we got to continue to do that every single game. And, Coach Valerio was mad because they weren't getting on loose balls. And I said, then get them knee pads. And we can get them knee pads. Do we have knee pads? And our equipment manager has said, oh, we have knee pads. And our team's like, seriously? So, that's been a big thing for us. You just got to play hard. We can't game plan. We can't do all this crazy stuff. And we didn't press at all this game because number 3 is just dangerous, and she'll draw fouls and all those kind of things. So, just our half-court defense won the game for us.
Yeah, Coach, would you say that all the pieces are coming together for your girls? Is this one of the most complete games they put together this year?
I don't know, because we had a lot of good ones at the beginning, but to play good against this team, who's really experienced, has a lot of great players, they mix up their defenses a lot, and so to play against this team, I don't know. Our team is, night and day. I don't know which one's coming. I hope we can continue having this one come when we go to Memphis on Saturday. That will really help us.
What will be one of the first things you say to the girls when you enter that locker room?
Team wins games. Hustle plays wins games. Box outs wins game. Defense wins games, period. It doesn't matter who gets, the most points. And I think, now that Aliyah is the person, she is the most unselfish person we have on the team. She just wants to win. And, we did a great job of getting to the foul line. 36 times was one of our game plans. If we couldn't make easy shots, let's just get to the foul line, but we got to make our free throws. And so we did a good job of, we were 26 for 36, but, that was half our points right there, 26 points.
Well, Coach, congratulations on this win. Enjoy it, and good luck the rest of the way, and especially this weekend at Memphis.
I'm going to enjoy it because they don't come very often, so I'm going to enjoy this for sure. So thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem,
Thanks,
Coach. Congratulations there as the Knights improve to 13-7, 3-4 in the conference. Coach Abe, as they like to refer to her here at UCF, doing a fantastic job in her first year, and now we're going to be joined shortly by the star of the game, Aliyah Gregory. Just an incredible performance. Gregory, 22 points, the high scorer in the game. Putting on the headset now, and now joined by Aliyah Gregory. Congratulations on the win. What was it about that second half? You were in foul trouble in the first half. You only scored 2, and then you took over in the second half, 20 points.
Yeah. I just needed to be aggressive. I knew I needed to step up. I let my teammates down by fouling and being out in the first half. So I knew I just needed to step up and do what my team needed me to do. And today it was just scoring, getting to the line, drawing fouls, making shots.
Zy Lewis, your teammate, really picked up in the second quarter. It seemed that was the turning point. You guys were struggling offensively. She got a couple steals, got some baskets going, and that really seemed to kind of get the momentum on your side.
Yeah, when Zy plays well, it adds a lot to our team. She played very energetic. She was shooting through the passing lanes, getting steals, finishing her layups, creating for others. And when Zy does that, that really helps our team out a lot. So we were proud of her for stepping up.
Yeah, Leah, you guys had a lot of help down in the paint with specifically Jocelyn Massey just cleaning up everything. What can you say about her performance tonight?
She just played hard. I know we've had a couple games where we talked about as a whole we didn't play hard as a team, and I think she really took that personal. Ever since we played Cincinnati the last time, she's been making sure she plays hard on every possession. She gave us so many offensive rebounds, so many extra possessions, extra opportunities. So I think she just wanted to go out and play hard and get a win.
What can you guys take away from this one and kind of build forward to in the rest of this conference schedule?
It was a good win. We're going to move on from this. We have to focus on our next game. It was a good win, but I think it was good for us to get a win, go out and play hard, and to come out and beat a team that beat us.
Well, Aliyah, congrats on the victory. Enjoy it, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Aliyah Gregory joining us of the victorious UCF Knights. Despina, last thoughts on this game before we sign off?
Yeah, I think if the Knights can build off this and continue to keep that up-tempo, do not rest. This is not the time to rest in the conference. It's a big win. Put it in your back pocket and carry forward.
Pleasure working with you there, Despina. For Despina Barton, Drew Vincent, and the crew back in the truck, I'm Eric Lopez. We hope you enjoyed this coverage of American Conference women's basketball here on the American Digital Network. UCF defeats Cincinnati 64-44. Good night, everyone.